Hi everyone, I welcome you all for today's session. Today we are going to study a chapter from class 8 NCERT English book, that is The Fight by Ruskin Bond. If we talk about this chapter, this is a very simple story to understand. A conversation between two children. But in this story, the message given by Ruskin Bond is very deep to understand and also to follow in one's life. Ruskin Bond is a very famous writer. His stories are always entertaining and also always with some great message that one can follow in one's life. So we start with this chapter, The Fight. Let us know about the characters of this chapter. Ranji, and the other character is Suraj. We come to know about this name almost at the end of the story, and in the beginning this boy Suraj is known as the stranger. Now the story begins with Ranji. Ranji came to a new place, Rajpur, and he was not familiar of that area. This Rajpur was a semi-hill station, and one day while he was roaming around in the forest, Ranji discovered a pool in the forest. And this is the most important place to remember because the entire episode was there in that pool area. Now, when Ranji reached that place, he enjoyed in the pool. He was very well aware of how to swim and how to dive. The second day, Ranji again came to that pool area. He enjoyed there, and suddenly he noticed that another boy was also there in that pool area, and that another boy was the stranger. This stranger was a little older than Ranji. Now Ranji saw that boy. His behavior was very friendly, but this stranger, he asked, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here and what you want?" Ranji, he replied, "I am swimming here, and if you want, you can join me." But the behavior of the stranger was not at all friendly. The stranger even told him, "I am the warrior, and I don't like talking to the villagers like you." On the other hand, Ranji replied, "I am the fighter." Now here comes the situation of a violent struggle, a terrible fight. Why? Because according to the stranger, the pool belongs to the stranger, and he was not willing to allow Ranji to enjoy in the same pool. And then what happened? The argument was converted into a fight. This stranger slapped Ranji, and then what happened? We all know to every action there is always an equal opposite reaction. Then Ranji, he also gave a punch to the stranger, and then they both started fighting. The fight was horrible, and then what was the result? No one was the winner. Then it was decided the fight will continue for the next day. Stranger asked Ranji to come for the fight next day. Ranji accepted this challenge, and when he reached home, he was unable to explain his mother about the cuts and wounds that were there on his body. In the evening, Ranji went to the bazaar. He enjoyed a glass of lemonade and jalebis. Now this stranger, he also came to that place. Ranji wanted to ignore that person, or he thought of throwing that empty bottle on that stranger, because for him that stranger was an enemy. Both of them looked each other in anger. Then came the next day, when the fight was supposed to continue. When Ranji reached that place, he found that this stranger, he was relaxing and he was on the other side. He asked Ranji to come to his side for the fight. First, Ranji thought of ignoring. He didn't want to follow the instructions given by the stranger. But then he dived in the water. And after seeing Ranji's diving, the stranger was surprised. He wanted to learn how to dive. He asked Ranji, "Are you going to teach me how to dive?" Ranji was willing to accept. He requested for the way to learn how to dive, and Ranji accepted his proposal. He even tried to perform the way Ranji was doing. But it was not that much perfect, but still Ranji boosted him. And then he also saw Ranji diving and also swimming underwater. So now what happened? The story totally changed. How? Earlier they both were fighting, now they both became friends, and then they sat on a grey rock, and then the stranger asked Ranji to teach him how to dive, how to swim underwater. On the other hand, the stranger was also ready to teach, to guide this boy Ranji to become a Pahalwan. Why? Because Ranji was very slim and the stranger was strong enough. Now he told Ranji about his name. So the stranger was Suraj. Now they both became friends, and the stranger, he told Ranji, "Now this is our pool and we both are going to enjoy here in the pool, and no one can even dare to come to this pool." On the other hand, this boy Ranji was very happy, and he also accepted, he was also ready that no one can dare to come to this pool. And here the story comes to an end. Now friends, this story gives a very important message. And what is that? Solution. Solution of what? Solution of the fight. The fight is no solution for any problem. Solution lies in helping each other, and this is what is described in the entire story, that just fighting for few things, it will only harm you. But if you are ready to help the other person, then fight together for something. And that is what done in this story. The both were ready to fight against the weaknesses that they have in their life. And this is all for today. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Thank you once again.